Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to take a look at a spicy deck that I've been cooking up, and it's the return of the Iron Valiant box that I covered a while back. So obviously since then we've had a few upgrades to the deck, and well, we've actually swapped the ace spec out this time. And well, it's just nice to revisit this deck, and well, I thought with the upgrades and everything like that, let's see how it does. So as per usual, in the description below there's going to be usual links to the deck list, which is also available to copy in the description below. There's the games that we'll play and the outro and what I think of the deck. So of course we are basing this around the Iron Valiant EX. Obviously we lose this in April, but I did cover this as a standalone deck a while back, and I kind of enjoyed it. Obviously I played Iron Leaves with it as well, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing today as well. And well, I thought, well, what upgrades can I do to this deck? So obviously we have new Psychic support in the form of Wondrous Patch, and we also added in cards like Surfer just to give us an extra bit of time and everything like that. Otherwise, the main things are Wondrous Patch and of course Mystery Garden. Mystery Garden allows us to draw by discarding energy. And of course Wondrous Patch lets us put basic Psychic Energy cards from our discard pile to one of our bent Psychic Pokemon. Combine that with the change of ace spec to Prime Catcher, not only can we get a free ping in, but we can also do extra damage by just, playing the card and then switching into a Valiant, free retreat into another Valiant, and going from there. I think now that we have this opportunity to go for the Prime Catcher plus Wondrous Patch and Mystery Garden, not only do we get a Stadium Bump that's actually useful for us, we also get a better ace spec, and most importantly, we can still play Energy Switch as well. So I think this is going to be a lot better in terms of a list. Also, like I said, we're keeping 2 copies of Iron Leaves in here. This is mainly for the Grass Week matchups and will be very useful to have in this. Well, even then, it's useful as an attacker. I did have a comment from someone who watched the Joltik Box video a while back, and they were a bit confused why I didn't go for game. And well, the point of the. Well, let's just say the point of that was, he didn't understand it, so I explained it to him. I was like, well, Prism Edge can't be used back to back, and I only had this as an attacker, which. I mean, Iron Leaves is a very good attacker with 3 crowns and a Future Booster Energy Capsule. You're doing plus 80, so that's 260. Obviously, it's heavily unlikely you're going to have 3 crowns down, because you don't really want 3 crowns down, you want about 2 down. But if you can start stacking up the crowns, plus the Future Booster, this Pokemon can do a lot of damage. And, of course, with its the Rapid Vernier, it is very useful to have. Now, of course, the one major downside of playing Prime over the Reboot Pod, it is obviously a little bit worse when it comes to managing energy. So to mitigate that, I have added in a copy of EXP Share, just to help try and mitigate that. But anyway, let's go to the deck list, and let's have a proper look. And welcome to the deck list. So as I said, this archetype does obviously change quite a bit from the previous video that I did. Obviously I've kept the Iron Leaves in here, because Iron Leaves is just a really good attacker. There is no Crispin in this list, which is definitely a consideration card, but I wanted to try and keep it as much focused on, Future Box sort of variant. Now, Crispin's quite a good card, but obviously we do have Miraidon's Peak Acceleration, which ideally we want to be going second anyway, so we can go Peak Acceleration, buff that damage up to potentially take a knockout, and then we can start setting up our attackers. And obviously with Wondrous Patch plus Mystery Garden, we have inbuilt draw to the deck, which is really nice, because obviously we're mainly playing Psychic Pokemon as our attackers. Obviously we have Clefairy, we have Mew, we have Iron Valiant as an attacker as well. And having Clefairy in the deck with E-Switch just makes it so we can actually do that. Plus, Wondrous Patch can be used on the Clefairy, Mew, and of course the Crowns, so we can keep energy in play. But obviously we can Wondrous Patch to the Iron Valiant as it is a Psychic type. So we have a lot of versatility with this new build. So obviously we're playing 4 Iron Valiants, 3 Iron Crowns, 2 Miraidons, 2 Iron Leaves, 1 Iron Bundle, 1 Mew, and 1 Clefairy. You could throw in a Blood Moon Ursaluna, I've not felt the need to do so. There's 4 Arven in the list, 2 Research, 2 Boss, 2 Surfer, 1 Iono, 4 Wondrous Patch, 4 Switch, 3 Techno Radar, 2 Energy Switch, 1 Nest Ball, 1 Night Stretcher, 1 Prime Catcher, 1 Earthen Vessel, 4 Future Booster Energy Capsules, 1 EXP Share for a little bit of extra versatility, 2 Mystery Gardens, 6 Psychic Energy, 3 Grass Energy, and 2 Jet Energy. Jet Energy is also a really good card in this list, because if you already have a Valiant that's set up with a Future Booster Energy Capsule, but you don't want to attack with that one, you can jet into it if it has 2 Psychics on it, ping damage, and then free retreat into another one so you can set up more targets. It's actually quite a versatile archetype, because obviously we play a large number of Switch cards, as we already know. We play Surfer, Prime, Future Boost is basically a free retreat, and obviously we play Quad Switch. There's a lot of options with this list, and so far it's been really fun to make, and I've really enjoyed revisiting this archetype. So, let's get into the games, see how we do. And welcome to the first game. Obviously, in the last video we got to Tyranitar rank, thanks to Dengo Lucario, which went quite well. I'm still not over, like, I've been to the local supermarket whilst I was taking a bit of a break. I'm still not over that guy's decision to constantly gust Lucario. Like, I would love to know what his choice was there. Maybe he doesn't like the fact that I was playing Lucario as well. Maybe he just doesn't like the fact that... Maybe it's one of those that thinks like, oh, you shouldn't be playing Lucario because I'm playing Lucario, so to speak. I don't know. That's a good start. We get the Miraidon. That's not a bad start at all. Although the opening hand could definitely be a bit better, I will say. But this should be okay. Obviously, we are facing Gholdengo, so the metal energy is, or the metal attacks is going to be a problem. So we'll just do that and pass. Not a great start, but, well, we can only do so much. And obviously, Arven can get us our... well, obviously, it can get us a tool. It can obviously get us a Valiant plus a Crown. You know, we have a few options here. Okay, no, this is... Oh, what variant is this? This is Gholdengo. Okay, this could be a bit interesting. This could be very interesting, in fact. Very interesting. I thought it was standard Dengo, but no, this is Gholdengo, as I call it. Because obviously Gholdengo, it just made sense to combine the name. Some people call it Cash in Hand. I think that's Omnipoke from the Omni Joe channel, or the Omnipoke channel. I don't know why it's called Cash in Hand. That just seems weird. And looks like they're going straight in with Joltik. They're probably going to threaten the Iron Hands immediately, which is not a problem for us. That Galvantula could be, though, if he decides to bring that back. But we'll have the knockout on this Joltik anyway, so there's nothing major to worry about right now. I probably should, to be fair, with EXP share in hand, I probably could have attached the basic Psychic here. But it's not a big deal. It's not, like, the worst thing in the world. And Jolting Charge, probably to the hands. The hands I'm not afraid of, it's the Miraidon I'm more scared of, but he's heavily unlikely going to be doing that, like, attaching to the Miraidon. Yep, told you, he's just going to go all in the hands. That is fine. Top deck's pretty good, so we'll take Nest Ball. You'll also notice we're not playing the Latias in this list. Again, I did not see the reason to include it. I don't need it in particular. If it was a case of, like, I was playing less switches and stuff like that, I would include one. But I'll be honest with you, folks, I don't need it. So we'll go... Actually, no, we get more value off of this because we can use the Wondrous Patch. So I'm going to grab a Valiant and a Crown. So we'll do that. Do that. Future Booster here. EXP share here. Not like it matters. Wondrous Patch to this one. And yeah, peak acceleration for 60. And we will accelerate some energies. So I'm going to do a split like that. No, don't do that. There we go. Do a split like that, and then we can at least, you know, have that option. He's heavily unlikely going to be attacking with anything else. Like, he's got the hands. I'm not afraid of hands. Like, my main attacker is Iron Valiant, so I'm not afraid of a hands. We can deal with a Gholdengo. It's not a big deal. Okay, there's the Gholdengo. Obviously, we are metal weak, so this is something to consider. But obviously, we can hit insane numbers with the Valiant, so we don't need to worry too much. It's if he gusts the one with the Future Booster Capsule, the one with 2 energy on it, which he probably will. But if he does, that's fine, because we can work with it. And to be fair, we can just, you know, we can just promote the regular Valiant anyway, because with a Crown and a Future Boost, well, we actually need another Crown, but we can Techno Radar for that, so it's not a big deal. Like, we have a good advantage here, to the point that I'm not concerned. Precious Trolley and Charm, interesting, but if he goes in with hands, I'm not worried about it. Obviously, the hands getting a Bravery Charm does make my job a little bit harder, but I can still get there, you know? The hands doesn't worry me. It's the Dengo that does. And if I can, I'll try and prime the Dengo. Because Dengo needs to go. So let's see what we can actually do here. But obviously the trolley makes sense. I don't remember. I think I played Prime in my Joldengo. I can't remember off the top of my head. I have the list like about 20 or like 10 feet from me. They only press the trolleying for 2, so I think they've priced some Dingos. Oh, never mind. I've got one in hand. That's fine. Metallic Signal. They can fin, but it doesn't hugely matter. As long as I can take out this Iron Hands and take 2 prizes, I'm not worried. But I want to take out the Dengo instead. But at the same time, the hands could be a problem later. So I think as long as I just keep up the prize race, we should be okay here. There's the hands, and here comes Amp. I'm not worried about Amp. That is completely fine with me. So I'll promote this one, so I can use Surfer, so we can get a free ping in on it. There's a switch. That actually does help us, you know. So we'll switch into the Valiant. I'll get a nice free ping on the hands. Then we'll free retreat into the Valiant. Get another ping onto the hands. I'll bench a Crown. I'll then Surfer into my Valiant. And we just about got it. We've got the Energy Switch, which is nice. I'm going to put down Clefairy as well, just so we have the extra option. So we'll Energy Switch to the Valiant. And then we'll Laser Blade for 260 and take the knockout. I did a double ping because the rest of the pings don't hugely matter. Obviously, I can go for a Dengo if I need to. But this is where I'd love to have a Blood Moon in this list. But again, fitting everything in is all well and good. But there's only so much you can fit into a deck list, unfortunately. There's more Dengo army. It's nice to see Joldengo. You don't see it very often. My sister was a bit caught off guard when I had it built. It's a good deck though. Like, it has the versatility of Joltik Box, but it has the unlimited damage cap of Dengo. It just feels a little bit more clunky than a standard Dengo, but to be fair, you can thin the deck out with energy and stuff like that. So, you know, there's a lot of options here. But obviously my opponent only needs 3 energy to take out my Valiant, which that's not a difficult achievement for Goldengo. And it looks like as well they're sticking to a a 2 prize board state, so they're not giving me any free single prizes like a Joltik. Because if they did, we'd probably have game. Coin bonus again. They should have energy. They only need 3. They don't need a lot. But if they do waste resources, that's good for us. But okay, they're going to waste a Superior. That's fine by me. Less the better, I guess. The only issue, of course, is we're not going to be able to attack. Unless we top deck an energy. That's the only issue. Obviously, another card you can consider for this list is Fez, but I wanted to try and keep it as conventional as possible. But still, I think we lose from here purely because, you know, they still have a lot of resources left. And we can't really attack with a single prizer. If they Nest Ball for a Joltik, we could have game here. No, that's fine. And even if we had Blood Moon wouldn't win us the game. There's Flip the Script, that's fine. We only play 1 copy of Iono in this list, so we don't really have anything. Turo, interestingly. I don't know why you're picking that up. That doesn't usually matter. If they do commit to that, you know, putting a single prizer down, which they don't, unfortunately, we could have game, but unfortunately we don't. We just lose from here, unfortunately, because we can't get this Valiant power up in time unless we find Wondrous Patch. We need Wondrous Patch, plus we need a way to disrupt their hand. And there we go. There goes the 3 energy. Take out the Valiant. We'll put that there. We'll promote one of the Crowns, because the Crowns can at least free retreat with his F-back. Alright, let's see what we can do. Well, there's an energy, so that does get us something. So I'm going to whack that there. I'll then Arven for Wondrous Patch F-back. I know I'm going to lose because, you know, I can't take out, well, I can't hand disrupt them and obviously do what I need to do in this turn. But, you know, you gotta at least try. You never know. So a free retreat into the Valiant. We'll then ping with the Valiant, and we will Laser Blade for 240 for exact math and take out the Dengo. They should have game. If they don't and they just BM, that's their decision. But we got down to one prize card, and that was our Iono. It was even prized. So, you know, they don't need a lot. They literally just need 3 energy. And if they don't have it, I'll be very surprised. Obviously, we do need to retreat this Valiant, but obviously we do need to, you know, get another energy somewhere. But something tells me my opponent does have the knockout. And yep, there it is. If they're going to take the Mick, then yeah, you're just taking the Mick at this point. You have 17 cards in hand. There is no way you do not have game. Still, unfortunate loss, but to say we had a weakness match against one of our worst matchups, which is Dengo, I think we did pretty okay there. Let's go to a game 2. It was quite unfortunate in that first game, but we did put up a good fight. If only we could have gotten like a ping onto the, like if we could have double pinged the Joltik in the beginning instead of obviously, you know, attaching with it, well, attacking on the Miraidon, that would have been really nice, but obviously we was forced to go first. You know, that's just how it is sometimes, unfortunately. If we'd have been able to take the first swing and take out that Joltik, that would have been a very different game, is all I'll say. And looks like they're going first this time, that's fine. We can deal with that. But yeah, it was nice to, like, test this deck and, like, you know, it's not the best deck in the world, I'm going to say that right now. If you think this is a good deck, like for the meta and everything, I'm afraid you're mistaken. It's not that kind of deck. But it's fun, and that's what I like. I like a deck that I can at least enjoy. And looks like we're facing another terrible matchup with Alakazam. Let's hope they're playing the 40 HP ones, eh? They're not. They never do. They play the 50s. And to be fair, the 50s is just better anyway. Fang Call. We can at least take a single prize knockout at the very least. But obviously they play Counter Catcher, they play a decent Gusting count, so, you know. Plus we need 3 pings on a Valiant to actually take a prize here. So we're asking for a lot. So let's Techno Radar away to Psychic Energy. We will grab ourselves 2 Valiants, because I think that's the most appropriate. I mean, to be fair, like, it doesn't huge... In fact, no. Iron Crown's MVP in this matchup, isn't he? Because I can just ping damage and then start... you know, doing some big damage. So I'm going to grab a Crown, actually. I have one in hand, but Crown's actually an underrated attacker. So let's do that, do that. I'll Vessel away you, because I don't need you. Grab some Psychics. Because now at least I can put some pressure on. He may not realise what I'm planning here, but I can take a knockout with a Fan. And if he doesn't evolve his Pokemon... we can be in good shape. So let's go Grass here, Psychic here. Because if they don't evolve these fast enough, I will start taking knockouts with Twin Shuttles. It is a line. And it's probably our best line, to be brutally honest with you. Because remember, Alakazam needs big hand sizes and they need a lot of consistency. So they are going to be struggling in that regard. We have a switch in hand for the Iron Crown, so we can go into that. Battle Cage, that's fine. We don't do damage counters. Well, we do, but, you know. There's the boss. They're bossing a Crown. That's fine. You have just screwed up, my friend. So, switch into Iron Crown. Attach. Twin Shuttles. Bam, bam. Because remember, that is effects of attacks and abilities. It is not attacks themselves. You need shaming down, my friend. We're already 3 prizes up against a single prize archetype. Why are you bossing? I could just leave your ass. Like, come on, man. Boss isn't going to save you. And that's especially not going to save you. Do I bounce a stadium here? That's the thing. Well, I'm definitely going to Techno Radar away this Night Stretcher. I don't need it right now. I think I'll just grab Bundle. Bundle's going to be pretty good. Same with Valiant. But I'm not going to bench the Valiant now because I'd rather use Leaves right now. But then again, I don't have a reason to. So I'm just going to do that. Free retreat back into the Crown. And then we will Twin Shuttles. you and you. And there we go, that's a concession. Who would have thought we'd be using Iron Crown in that matchup? But it's the smartest thing to do. My opponent just kept gusting, hoping for the best, but when you play against an archetype that's probably playing in the region of about 10 switch cards, yeah, not the best thing for Alakazam there. And well, that went quite well. Using Iron Crown as an attacker there is always a good idea. You know, it's always important to read your cards. There may be a card in your deck that can give you an advantage unexpectedly. And like I said, Iron Crown, good enough. It does the job, doesn't it? Obviously, we wasn't able to do 70 to the active Dunsparce because we didn't have a future booster on it, because Iron Crown doesn't allow that. The ability specifically states accept any Iron Crown EX. So we would have needed a second future booster to actually do 70 to that Dunsparce and then go from there. I've got double switch, so I'd rather start the leaves, because then I can Mystery Garden and get some draw for that. Because then I get double Valiant Ping, which is important. Yes, we're starting at 9 leaves, but we can always charge this guy up later. It's not a big deal. We don't need to do it now, but this hand isn't looking great, I will say. But if we can get a double Valiant Ping, that can make the difference. Oh, come on! Not the crustacean. Please tell me that's your only move. Please tell me that's your only move. I will be a very happy boy if that's the case. Oh, come on! Freaking luxurious cape. Well, that's really good. Now, I can't one-shot this. I know I can't. But I can at least do something. So, I will Arven for a future booster. And do I have a Techno Radar in hand? No, I do not. But I don't really need to grab one because I have 2 Valiants in hand. So I'll just take a Nest Ball. Let's do a quick prize check whilst we're here. So I prize 1 Wondrous Patch, but that's fine. We've got both Miraidons in there, so we can at least get some, you know, setup and everything like that. So let's go you, switch into Valiant, and ping, switch into Valiant, and ping. Then we'll attach that to you, Nest Ball. Unfortunately, we're not getting value off our Mystery Garden, but, well, you have to live with some things, unfortunately, folks. Now with free retreat and peak acceleration for 40, and we can fin some psychics out. We'll attach it to this one because at least it has free retreat. This bloody crustacean is going to be a thorn in my arse the whole game. The issue is with facing Crustle itself is the fact that yes, we do have a single prizer, but we don't play Lightning Energy, so we can't do Sparking Strike. Sparking Strike is an underrated attack, but we don't play Lightning Energy. We're not a traditional, you know, Iron Valiant box sort of deck, you know. It looks like he's going to do some healing with that Monkey Dory, and also do Ascension as well, which makes my job even harder, as you can imagine. Because now all I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be plinking this for 40, and he's going to chuck 30 right back, so that's fun. I mean, at least we got to do some damage, but, well, it's not looking good for us. Unless we top deck an energy, this one remaining Mystery Garden in hand is kind of bad. And he's targeting down the Valiant. Great. Because I can't touch this now. Well, with EX Pokemon. I can hit it with a Miraidon, but I've got a long way to go before I'm one-shotting a Crustle. That's for sure. That is a beautiful top deck. So we will Mystery Garden for 2. That's not bad. I mean, it's not great either, but we'll gloss over that. I can at least Iron Bundle, and I can peak acceleration for 40. If only I played a basic Water Energy, eh? Because, for those that don't know, Refrigerated Steam is a broken attack. Because it stops, if the opponent's Pokemon is an evolution Pokemon, it can't attack. I really wish I'd have put a Water Energy in just for that purpose, but I mean, even then, we've got 6 prizes on our board, so, you know, it's not looking too good. I mean, the best thing I could probably do is, like, you know, just keep plinking this Crustle and just hoping I can do something about it. But, spoiler alert, I'm not going to be able to. That's the issue with facing a matchup like this, you know? Like, there's only so much you can do. There's not really any good single price attackers that Future Box can play. Like, there's Miraidon and stuff, but Miraidon only gets you so far. So, there's not a lot for me to do here, so I think just for the purpose of my sanity, I'm going to take a prize card, at the very least. Well, in fact, no, I can't because of thingy, but even then, I've just realised I can't because of the future booster, but either way, we're not winning that game, so I'm just going to concede and go on to the next one, because I literally can't beat him. Without Lightning Energy in the list, I literally don't have a chance. See you in the next game. And welcome back. That was unfortunate, but, well, that's what happens when you don't play Lightning Energy in your list, because, again, you can't tech for everything, because then your deck gets clunky. And if I'm playing Lightning Energy, I'd want to play Iron Hands or at least Iron Thorns, you know? Like, you've got to think about these things. But, you know, that's just unfortunately how it happens sometimes, you know? It's not a bad thing, but still. Let's see what we get. We start the crown, that's alright. It's not the end of the world. Let's see what we get off the top, because we are going... No, we're going first. Okay, I didn't look, I was looking at my phone. That's fine. That is completely fine. We can deal with that. I mean, it depends on the matchup. Like, we can at least get, you know, set up to an extent. Okay, Badoo's fine. We can deal with that. There's a Valiant. That's a good start. So we'll go you. Techno Radar away one of the grasses. We'll grab Miraidon. And we'll grab another Valiant, just so we have the option. Plus, I can just do this. I wish I could donk you, but I can't. Maybe I should have waited a few seconds to see if they'd buy into my bluff. You know, like, I could retreat this, like, switch into another Valiant, and then ping this Bidoof for game. I mean, if anything, we get a free prize card later, so I'm happy with that. But, yeah, this is definitely something. Hello! We've got ourselves a Slowking deck. This will be interesting. Very interesting. Interesting they played a Badoo. That's not common, I will say. It's not a bad idea, but why is the Dust Skulls in here? They don't typically play that. Reversal Energy, that's fine. And Itchy. Again, that is completely fine. If I find a way to switch this dude out, you are losing a Pokemon. Iono. I just need Jet or... Okay, that works. That's fine. Yeah, we get the idea. I mean, do I just take the ping and just take a prize card? I don't think it's correct to do that. I'm just going to peak acceleration. I'd love to take, like, 2 prizes here, but I can't. I can't just sit around waiting. So I'm just going to do that. Put some energy on. And there's Clefairy. Clefairy is not going to be useful in this matchup. Still, why the Dust Skulls here? Unless you're playing something wacky, I don't know what you're playing. Because Slowking doesn't play Dust Skulls. They sometimes play Badoo, so that's fine. Same with Reversal Energy. They sometimes play that. But, yeah. I'm not sure what my opponent's playing here. I mean, we do at least have the option to go for Crown. Should push come to shove. Yeah, triple Dust Skull. I don't know what he's playing. Why are you playing Slowking with that? Maybe it's for, like, teching against Shaman. I don't actually know. I don't have a clue. But wouldn't you just play Yungoos? Would that not just be a better battle Pokemon instead of, like, playing Dusknoirs and stuff? Because at least then you have a line that you can constantly put Pokemon on top of your deck. Well, you can't copy Fez, so if you try that, good luck, but you can Super Psybolt. That is a line. And that is exactly what my opponent is going to do. Understandable, have a good day. So I'll promote the Crown, because then I get a free ping. I can actually get 2 free pings, but we will gloss over that. Plus, I want to take out the Slowking anyway, so it's fine. Right, so I can just... I don't need to play Prime. I don't need to play Boss. I'm just going to Arven. I don't need to do anything here. So I'll take a Vessel, and I'll take a Future Booster. I'll then Vessel away my Leaves, because I don't need Leaves in this matchup. I'll grab a couple of Psychics, just so I have them. So we'll do that. Do that. I mean, I can get 2 pings in, but it's not worth it. So I'm just going to go into the Valiant. I'll ping one of the Duskulls. And yeah, Laser Blade 240. Take out the Slowking. This is a really weird Slowking list. I don't know what I'm facing, but, well, I'll take whatever I can get, I guess. He's giving me the Duskull with damage on it. Okay. Interesting, is all I'll say. There's the Fez, so we can finally bench Fez, but Fez is a nice 2-prizer for me to go for. And if he doesn't evolve this Duskull into a Dusclops, or whatever else he decides to do, I can start taking free prizes. Because I'll just prime the Fez, go into my other Valiant, free retreat back into this Valiant, and I can take out this Duskull. So, in fact, then again, the Slowking's more important, because the Slowking is very dangerous. Secret Box? So you're playing... What is this list? What is this list? Genuinely, what is this list? That's not an insult to my opponent. I'm genuinely asking a question, like, what is this list? Because I don't know what I'm facing here, my friend. You need a switch. You need some way to, you know, put that... We'll get that Curum back. Air Balloon, Night Stretcher. So we can get the Curum off. That's fine. We can deal with that. That's not a big deal. Obviously, if he starts taking multi-prize turns, that's when it starts getting a little bit hairy. But, you know, we've already played our 1 Iono, so we don't really have an advantage here. He's got the Slowking. There's the Air Balloon. I mean, maybe it's like a spread sort of deck. I don't know. I'm very confused by my opponent's deck building here. Because we can't take multi-prizes. Well, we can take 3 prizes, but we can't take 4. Unless he, like, starts blowing up Dust Noirs and stuff. You know, he could do that, I guess. I don't think he will. And this is a really weird approach to Slowking, but, I mean, whatever keeps you awake at night, I guess. And speaking of night, it's going to be Academy at night to put that Curum back on top. But didn't he just grab a Night Stretcher? Or am I going crazy? I swear he grabbed a Night Stretcher off of that, thing. Yeah, he's already played it. Well, here comes a Curum. We know it's going to be a Curum. And, well, I don't know why it asks him to copy it, because it just do it automatically. Yeah, it does. I thought so. Alright, well, we don't play a Picnic Basket, so unless we can find some way to, you know, destroy my opponent in one go, we lose. So, we are going to prime up the Fez. I'll go into my Crown. In fact, I should have gone into the Valiant here, but it's fine. And to be fair, I don't need to boss anyway. I'll Academy at night, put the boss on top, because you never know. And then I'll research. Okay, there's a switch. We're bailed out. That's fine. We played quad switch anyway, so it's fine. So we'll free retreat into the Valiant. Pick the Duskull. Switch back into my Valiant. Or my powered up Valiant, I should say. Pick the Duskull, take a prize card. So that's that. We take that prize card. Then I will Wondrous Patch to my Valiant. I will attach to this Valiant. I will bench this Valiant and put an F-Beck on it. And yeah, we will Laser Blade for 240, take 2 prizes. We're probably going to lose next turn, but I'm giving it my best shot, okay? This is a very bad matchup for us. But still, it's fine. Let's see what happens. If he has Reversal plus Curum, we just lose. But I'm hoping he doesn't. Obviously, we did take out his Fez, but of course he does have the bloody research. I mean, Slowking plays research anyway, but still. The most baller thing he can do is evolve to a Dusclops and go out with style. I think he might be doing that. Oh, please do it. I'd love to see that. There's the bear, but I'm not worried about the bear. The bear is fine. He's going in with a bear, that's fine. We can deal with a bear. It's not a problem. Academy at night. I don't... Yeah, he couldn't get another Slowking going. Very interesting deck list, though, I will say, mate. Like, Rosina, I'm very impressed with the deck build. It's very spicy. So I'll promote the Crown, because if we can get multi-pings with the Valiant, we'll take it. But there's a high chance that we don't. And to be fair, I have game anyway, but I'd want to kill the Blood Moon realistically, but I think I'm not going to waste my opponent's time. So I'm just going to boss the Duskull. Night Stretch back a Psychic. Well, in fact, I could grab a Grass actually, save a extra second or so. Then free retreat, into the Valiant. The ping doesn't matter, but I'm just going to plonk it here. And we will Laser Blade for game. GG's though, that was a really weird, but also really spicy Slowking build. Not the way I'd go about it, but I mean the quad reversal, the jet idea with the Blood Moon Ursaluna, that's quite creative. Maybe I'll try and cook up my own version. That's really spicy, and if you do, for whatever reason, happen to watch this video, Rosina, send me a deck list, because I'd love to feature that. That was really interesting. At first I was like, huh? But then as time went on, playing the match, it made sense. And now we get our Ultra Reward rank, because we just hit Mewtwo rank. Let's see what we got. We've got quite a lot of stuff. You'll be useful for later, I would imagine, because I think you're on the Wheel of Pain, as are you. Anything else worth noting? Obviously, we've got the Reshiram and stuff like that. That's fine. Hydreigon. Then a lot of traded in stuff. We've got Meloetta as well. Yeah, I'm pretty impressed with how this deck did. I didn't think because of the Megas running around, I was going to get many matches where I could at least, you know, make this deck work. But no, I enjoyed this deck. It was really fun. So what do I think to the deck? I know I've just said about the deck was being really fun, but obviously I like to say that. It makes it easier for me to edit it, is all I'll say. So whenever I say, so what do I think to the deck, it's my outro part. But yeah, so this deck was really fun to revisit. Obviously, I wanted to do a new version with, like, Mystery Garden, Wondrous Patch, you know, I wanted to do that variant. To be honest, in terms of, like, changes I make to this list, I think a Crispin would go a long way. Like, I think a Crispin is a good idea in this list. I just didn't put one in. Ursaluna is another good one, because obviously in that situation, if we had Ursaluna in hand, we could have gone Promote the Crown into the Valiant, switched into the Bear, and then kill the Bear. But we didn't need to do that. But, you know, I think a Bear would go a long way. Having a Blood Moon Ursaluna in the list would be really nice. But other than that, this list doesn't need a lot of changes. It's just not very competitive. Like, you meet a Mega, like, for example, Mega Venusaur, you're just going to get your ass handed to you. If you meet Goldengo, you're going to get your ass handed to you. Like, you know, you need to consider that if you do play this deck. But honestly, it was really fun to revisit this deck. Anyway, I'm going to leave it all to it for today. Really hope you enjoyed seeing my Iron Valiant Future Box 2.0, and I'll see you next time.